I like to start with just a brief moment where we pause and we just ask our teams to come in and join us, uplift this whole experience and make it even more powerful. So if you'll just sit back, close your eyes, take a couple of deep cleansing breaths. Allow yourself to come into this present moment, into our beautiful energetic circle, and know that we are being fed vital force energy from all of our teams. It's like watering cans. They're standing all around with these watering cans and they're sprinkling this vital force energy over all of us and making this big, beautiful energy bubble that we'll all exist in together as we go through this experience. So anything that's on your mind that's troubling you, stressing you out, just let that go for this time together. And you might be amazed that by the end, you have an answer, or you have a new insight, or at least more peace, because there is nothing that you can't accomplish with the help of your guides. You know, they're trying to help you all day, every day. It's just incumbent upon you to slow down, allow them to come in, feel, hear, see those answers, because they're coming all the time. It's just when you're in that busy, go, go, go mode that they don't come through and you miss them. But don't worry, they'll keep sending messages until you finally do get them, because they never give up on you. So Metatron and all of the angels who work for you, we invite you to come into our circle. Share your love and light with us, inspire us, help us to bring out the very best in ourselves and one another. And for all that you do for us, we say thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, you guys, so there was something I was going to tell you and then it just slipped away. We'll have to wait until it comes back. All right, Mike, you're up first. Look at that. You got it. Why are you first? Yeah, you're at the very top. Go for it, Mike.
I think I was second. I think Cap is actually first, but I'll go and you can come back and make sure. I don't have anything specific to ask except for further guidance. I'm easing into everything. I've slowed down and accepted that things won't necessarily be exactly as I want. So I just would accept any further guidance, please.
Okay. So what beautiful insights can you share with Mike today? Oh, Mike, I'm seeing like a Disney movie for you. It's all sparkly, like, you know, fairy dust, and the sun is shining, the grass is green, the trees are singing. It's just this really idyllic scene. So they're inviting you to join into that energy. Know that that is there for you all of the time. It never goes away. It's like you would step across a threshold and there you are. It really is all your mindset. So consciously intend, step into that energy, that state of beingness. Allow that peace, that calm, that stillness to just permeate over your body, bring you to that place of peace, knowing that in that space, nothing can ruffle your feathers. It's all perfect and flowing. And you can take that same energy and intention into your everyday life. It really is up to you, because it's all in the way you perceive what happens, how you react to it, that determines how you feel, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so they're encouraging you, because you are a writer. Write your story, write your day the way you'd like it to be. Just intend that.
Thank you.
Does that help?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so you reminded me of the thing I wanted to share with you. So you guys, if you've been reading my newsletters, you know that my husband retired and now he's here all the time, which makes it really interesting when I'm doing things like this. And he's like not understanding why I have to kick him out of the room so it can be quiet and the energy can be in the right state to do this. So I was thinking about it, you know, somebody asked me, well, can't you move to another room? Sure, I could. I don't want to. The other choices that I have will not feel right to me. So I'm not choosing to do that. So I'm saying no to those things. And I'm planning that at some point I will manifest a different way. And maybe that's going to be that camper van and I'll just move out there and do my sessions in that PC energy. But it reminded me that we always have choices, even when we think that we don't. Right? There are some of us who come together and they say, well, this is my situation. I'm trapped. There is no way out. And that's just not true. Always a choice. It reminds me a number of years ago, I received this email and it said, I just tried to kill myself. Can you help me? So I corresponded with this woman, and turns out, young woman who was single mom with 2 kids. The kids were with their dad for that weekend, and she just felt like she was at the end of her rope, and she took a bunch of pills, and thankfully she survived. But as we probed through her past lives and her present life, we discovered that even though she felt there were no choices, there really were. She just wasn't willing to consider them. And that's the way it is for all of us. Sometimes the choices are there, but we say, no, 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 I'm not doing that. And sometimes we have to re-examine the ones we've said no to and ask ourselves, okay, could I do it that way? Could I make it work for me? And then find an answer. So what happened for her, she finally did reach out to her parents for help. She hadn't been willing to do that before. Can you imagine? You don't want to ask your parents so badly you'd rather die. And then what happens to your children? So when she re-examined it through that lens of the bigger picture, she was willing then to ask her parents for help. She ended up moving back to the country where they lived with her boys. And a year later, I saw pictures of her frolicking on the beach with her children. So she worked it out. But in the beginning, she didn't think she had a choice. And that's so important. I want you all to understand, whenever you're in that little box and you feel that despair and you think, I don't have a choice, that's never true. There are always choices. It's just a matter of, are you willing to accept one of them and take action upon it? And even in those times when that doesn't work for you, then reach up your arms, ask your angels to fly down with that helicopter and that ladder and lift you out of that freaking box that you built for yourself so you can see more choices. Because I don't want any of you to be in that state of despair where you think that you're trapped forever and there's never a better answer, because there always is. Does that make sense? Awesome. Okay, Cap, you're next.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Today's question is about blocks. Sometimes I feel there is an invisible, impenetrable barrier that keeps me from achieving the goals that I work very hard to achieve. Are these blind spots? Like what is it that keeps me so limited? And I feel the discontent, but somehow I can't break through.
I think I answered your question before we got to you, Cap. But here's the thing.
I was hearing that and I'm thinking, okay, I can use that information.
Yeah. Whenever you feel blocked, that's when you stop. You shut out all the outside noises. You examine anything that you can do to change. It really just requires you to make a choice and to take action, and that will get you unblocked. You are blocking yourself because you're stopping and you're not willing to make a choice and take the action. Doesn't mean you're always going to like the choice and the action, but you have to take the best one that's available to you at the time. When you do that, Cap, you are making way, you are shifting the energy, you're making space for your angels to come in and help you. When you're in that state of shut down, and sometimes it's panic, sometimes it's despair, feeling like there is nothing that you can do, it's really hard for your angels to get through to you because you're like this, you're not seeing, hearing, or feeling what they're bringing to you. So you've got to move out of that state where you can actually start to see. And it's just baby steps. You don't have to leap. Just take a couple little baby steps to make that space. They will come right in and start helping you.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. Dave.
Good morning.
Good morning. Do your cousin or your dad have any messages for you?
Yeah, my dad or my cousin or my grandpa or anybody.
Okay. So anybody on the other side who wants to share with Dave?
I've been thinking about them all recently.
Were they patriotic type people?
No.
Because I'm hearing glory, glory, hallelujah. Were they military people?
My dad was.
Okay, maybe that's where that's, all right, so you got to give us more information. Why that song? Why now? Oh, it's about the energy, Dave.
Okay.
You know, that powerful marching energy that you get with that kind of a song. And
Mhm.
it's also one of those songs that if you really listen to it, it can move you to a higher state of being. Just the energy of that song is very uplifting, plus the marching energy. So they're wanting to share that energy with you because what you are working towards in your life is requiring that infusion of energy. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you want to share with Dave? Son, just get to marching. It's that forward movement. And that's so true for all of us, isn't it?
Which direction? Forward or back?
Well,
I'm
always
moving.
forward. You don't want to go backward, right? You've been there. You've done that. The past is over. You can't change it. It's always about moving forward into
Yep.
what you want to create. And sometimes it's a little sideways, but it's always ultimately forward.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Sharina, you're muted.
I said, hi, I have a question and then I wanted to find out how I could check in with you about, a couple months ago, I talked to you about a ghost that was in my daughter's house and I wanted to tell you what happened with all of that. So at some point, you can let me know how I can do that with you.
Can you share it with us now?
I can, yeah. You shared with me when I asked what I needed to do. You said I needed to go back and talk with him. Apparently he killed himself and I would need to negotiate with him, which was what I needed to do. He was very attached to my daughter's dog. And so we made a deal that he could come and spend time with the dog when they were not in the house. And after a little bit of timing, a couple of days of figuring out the timing, he did. And then all the pains that my daughter was getting when she was in the house went away, and it hasn't bothered her since. So it's super exciting.
That is marvelous. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank
And
you. So
you
much.
just illustrated that same point about when you were looking at the situation, it seemed hopeless. What can you do? You can't get rid of this entity who's causing all this problem. And yet you found a way. And isn't that the way it always is? It's a negotiation. It's examining the choices and figuring out which one works.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Thank you. I have a question. I've been trying to help a friend of mine who's having difficulty sleeping, doing some healing work for her. And she does have some trauma around this belief of sleep and what it is. And I don't seem to be making much headway. And I'm wondering if there's something I'm missing or something I can do, or if it's nothing I can do. It's just kind of in her ballpark to figure out the false beliefs or what.
Okay. What is her name?
Marav.
Marav? Okay. So for Marav, what's going on with this sleep issue? It's about fear. Yeah, okay. Is it present life fear? It's past life fear. Has she always had this problem, or has it just come up recently?
I think it's been a while. You know, she grew up with a dad who had a false belief around if you sleep too much, you miss out and you're not successful. And so it's coming up in her life right now where, you know, she'll sleep about 4 hours and then she can't get back to sleep because she's worrying about, you know, all that fear and those false beliefs and all. And she's aware of it. But for some reason, we can't get past that.
Yeah, I'm seeing like a record playing, so it's like a programming thing. So what can you tell Marav that will help her with sleep? Has she ever tried hypnosis?
I'm not sure. I know she's done a lot of therapy around it, but I don't know about hypnosis. Maybe.
It's just rewriting the program is what she needs, because that program is playing in the back of her head and she's helpless at this moment to change it. So an outside force like hypnosis might be the thing to help her shift it just enough where she can start sleeping and then believing and finally moving forward on her own. She just needs something to get her over that hump. So EFT might be helpful as well. I would try some of those things, and maybe even Ho'oponopono.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
You're
Appreciate it.
welcome. Yeah. Okay, Annette.
Hello, hi Deborah.
Hi.
Um, just picking up on what you said about being trapped and finding a different way forward, which is something that I was going to mention about myself, because I've been trying to get out of a situation for quite a long time, and it's outer influences that are blocking me. And I've tried quite a few different ways to break through those blockages, but as I do break down one block, another block appears. So I'm literally in a situation where I'm going round and round like a dog chasing his tail and getting very frustrated because I cannot get out of this very frustrating situation I'm in. So I wondered if my guides could see what's going on and kind of shed some light of how I can help myself go forward, please.
Yeah, I'm hearing stop. I'm seeing you like you're running around on this track. And
Yes.
you're in that unceasing movement. And in the doing, it's like you've got blinders on, so you're not seeing the exits when you come up upon them. So it's just stop.
Well, I've been in stop mode for over 18 months, really. And it's become, if you like, a situation where something has to be done to change that. And I've kind of accepted with all what's gone on that everything's on shut down or going slow or shortages, you know, in the health service and one thing and another. So I've accepted all of those things quite gracefully and quite patiently. But then I reach a point where it's getting serious and I'm still hitting blocks. So then that becomes more of a worry. So you have that added on top of frustration. So it's kind of, yeah.
It's like you're manifesting more blocks because you've gotten into that pattern and you're just seeing and expecting them, right? So the picture I'm getting right now, Annette, is you closing your eyes. Close your eyes like a blind person and just hold your arms out.
Yes.
Wait there. Your angels will then come and take your hands. They will guide you so that you don't trip over the blocks. They'll guide you around them, over them, whatever, to get you through. But you're trying to do it all yourself. And this is something that you've come to that end of the road where you can't do anymore yourself. It's where you've got to ask for help. And it feels like kind of that's probably why this was arranged, so that you would get to that place where you had to stop and accept their help. Because that will help you in other ways.
Strangely enough, I have actually engaged somebody, you know, I've brought somebody else now into the equation, which I didn't want to do because it's quite a big thing, what I'm doing. But circumstances actually forced me into doing that. So I have actually got, health professionals on board, which will help, but it's still not, I'm just wondering if my guys can kind of see if this will bring about change by me doing that. And do I just sit back and think, okay, let's just wait now for a doorway to open naturally for me to go forward and walk through, rather than me constantly contacting them contacting me. I did take the decision last week to get them on board, which has taken me a long time to come to that, but it was kind of the last resort. And I thought, okay, I'm going to reach out now. So hopefully I've done the right thing.
Well, you're trying something new, so that's important, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's moving you forward. So what they're showing me is just, reach out your hands, let us help you negotiate through all of these obstacles to that door that you're looking for, which is going to move you into, I'm seeing it like another room, but really it's another state of beingness. It's getting out of that state of beingness where you're at now, where you do feel so constricted and so stuck. And I'm almost seeing like snake wrapped around you and you're just, you're kind of stuck there in that grip. So it's moving you out of that into another space that's warmer, that's brighter, more openness that you can move around in, and then navigate forward from there. So it's a big hurdle that you've got to get over. And let's just ask the question, this new medical team, is that the help that's going to get over the hurdle? I'm getting a positive on that, Annette. So
Good.
it's like you did make a choice. You helped to move yourself forward, right?
Right. Yes. Yes. In effect, yes. I think not you know, it wouldn't have been the way I would have chosen normally, because I wouldn't have wanted to have contacted these people, but I was pushed into a situation where I experienced something in the hospital that was quite scary, and that tipped me over the edge. Oh my goodness! Like, you know, I need to do something now. So I suppose I had to experience that bad experience to make me make that choice. Whereas before I was just trying to plod on myself. And then, as I said, I was just like a dog chasing my tail. So, okay, that's.
Yeah. Well, you know, sometimes it's like that there are so many doors that you don't know which one to choose. So
Yes.
your angels will come in and they'll start closing, locking those doors, narrowing your choices until there's like, okay, this is all you can do now. Do this to get you to take action. It's when you're stuck not taking action that the problems really get magnified. So for everybody, when you feel you're in that state, that there's nothing you can do, you're shut down, you're just so, it's like constipated spirituality. When you're in that space, it's look around, make a choice and do something. Doing that is better than staying where you're at.
Yeah, it's difficult to see when you've got outer influences that are not helping you to move forward. You know, they're causing the block, if you like. It's not me, myself, that's causing a block. It's the outer influences that are not seeing maybe my point of view or are not listening to what I'm saying to them. And that becomes frustrating because when, well, anybody would know if they're talking to somebody and they're not really, especially a medical profession, and they're not listening to you and they're not really understanding what you're saying, it's going over their head. So therefore that door is closed because they, you know, their judgment of you is, well, you know, you obviously say too much or you think too much, or it's always a negative, or it has been quite a lot of negatives. So then you tend to clam up and you think, okay, I'll go the other way and I won't say anything. So it's a vicious cycle of finding the correct pathway to go forward. So
what I want you to think about, and this is not about blame, but you create your reality. So those other people are not creating those blocks for you. You are attracting and creating them in some way. So it's incumbent upon you to change what you're doing so that you create a different reality. As long as you stay in the energy of putting the blame outside of yourself, it's really hard to shift. So now you're shifting into that place of, okay, I'm going to accept help. I'm going to try something different, and you're going to move forward.
Yeah, it's a very difficult one to describe, isn't it? Because I'm not blaming anybody, but I'm just not finding the right person or I have one since I've done something about it, that's actually listened to me and said, do you know what? I absolutely agree with everything you said. I said, well, you're the first person in 2 years that have said that, because everyone else is, no, that's not possible. That's not possible. That's not possible. And when somebody says that to you, you can't get past that, can you? There's no way around it. So you have to just.
That's effectively closing the door. So you move on. You don't keep knocking on the door. If they said no, keep moving.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, difficult, very difficult, but okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Shirley, good morning.
Good morning, Deborah. Thank you so much. Okay, my question is, was I Mary Ann Evans in a past life?
Okay, Shirley. Did she have a past life as Mary Ann Evans? I get a no on that.
Is there a connection to her? Okay. In this life, do I have a connection?
In the present life, does Shirley have a connection to Mary Ann Evans? I get a no, but tell me who she is, because that might change the result.
Okay, she's a writer, commonly known as George Eliot.
Okay.
And she had come to me in many dreams years ago.
Yeah. Okay.
And I just wondered why she came to me in the dreams.
Okay. So for Shirley, Mary Ann Evans coming to her in dreams, what was that about? What can you tell us? Was there a familial connection? Something like that? That's not it. Okay. I'm hearing mentor. Okay, and was this a past life connection? Yeah, it's a little dim, but it's feeling like there was some kind of past life connection and she was wanting to mentor you. Does that feel like the
That
energy you
makes
were getting?
makes perfect sense. Yes. In the dreams I had with her, we were in the 1800s and we were all women sitting in like a circle, and we were writers, and we would write and read our writing to each other. We were like a writing circle.
So are you wanting to write in this lifetime?
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. So that's it. That's the connection.
Yeah, so call on her to help you with that,
Hmm. Okay, that's a big help.
because
Thank you.
that's why the word mentor came up.
Yeah, I
Because
was
who
shocked.
cares about the past, right? It's about what's going to help you in the present.
Yes. Yeah.
And if that's the
very
energy she brings to the table, what if you channeled her? What kind of writing might that bring forth?
wow. Yeah, fantastic.
Or just, you know, she's giving you ideas and then you take it and run with it, or a
Mhm.
combination of those things. But I would
Yeah.
play with that and just see what comes forth. That's really
Mhm.
exciting.
Yeah, that is exciting. Thank you.
You're welcome. Rachel, you're up.
Oh, hi, good morning. I
Hi. Oh,
want to give
I
you a
think
little
Oh, it's the
background.
other Rachel. Sorry. It's
Oh.
Rachel S.
Oh, I'm
thank you.
Uh-huh.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you, Deborah. Hi. I'd like to ask some clarity. And first of all, yeah, you talked about choices. That was really interesting. And sometimes I feel I don't know what my choices are. I do have two very quick yes, no questions. And one is about university contracts. I'm just curious if my guides have any, well, it's just a yes, no, like, am I gonna stay on the contract this year with the university? Yes or no?
Okay. So will Rachel be offered the opportunity to have the university contract for another year? It's available to you. Would that be an optimal choice? That's kind of an in-between, Rachel. So it's
Yeah,
like
that's
there
up
are
to
other
me.
factors that are clouding things up.
Mm,
It's not clear yet. So maybe there's another choice that you need to make before that one is
yeah,
available.
I'll just explore it. And then the other one is in a month, I have to decide. I have to decide this weekend. Do I go to Portugal or do I go back to France? Could you ask my guide?
So for Rachel, would it be an optimal choice at this time to go to Portugal? What about France? Would that also be optimal? No. So Portugal's a yes, France is a
Yeah,
no.
I already kind of decided it, but I'm so happy that you confirmed that. So I'm thank you for that. And then, I just would love to know if they have anything to say when it comes to my YouTube, as always, and my career, my coaching clients. I just feel everything is going super slow. I'm really, really getting into the vibration 10 million times a day. I switch from, the doubt into, no, I got this, I'm on the right path. I just continuously do that. But I would love to know if there's any clarity that they can give me, if I need to change anything at all.
It's funny, I get for a lot of people, you're wearing blinders and that's causing you a problem. For you, I'm getting, you need to wear blinders, Rachel. Stop being distracted by all that crap out there. Put on your blinders and keep moving. Stop doubting. You've examined the choices, you've done the work. Now you're allowing that work to precede you and open doors for you. But it's not going to happen tomorrow. It's going to take time. It is a long haul. It's not a sprint.
It's just that I feel like after 3 years, I've already taken so much time.
No, but here's the
Um,
thing. You're looking at it as I've done the same thing for 3 years. That's not true. You've made some big pivots in the last
Yeah.
even 6 months. You got
Yeah.
to give that work time to mature.
Okay.
So when you look at it from that perspective and you realize, no, really, I've only been doing this a matter of months.
Okay.
And of course, you're
So,
tweaking because the markets are changing, the people are changing, the world is changing. You've always got to be in that flow and be shifting. But you've set yourself a course, so you've got to give that time to bear fruit for you. You planted the
I'm
seed,
al-
you have to let them grow.
yeah,
Stop digging
I'm
at the
always
roots to see if they're growing.
wondering if I should take more action or do more lives or do something different, or I guess not.
Okay, so would
Yeah,
more
continue.
lives be an optimal choice for Rachel? More lives are good. Yeah. And you know, the thing is, if you do a live and only 2 people show up, instead of saying crap, only 2 people showed up, celebrate 2 people showed
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
that
for sure.
energy that you want, right?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I've been doing with clients too. I'm like, oh, you know, I need more clients. And then I immediately, when I hear myself say that, I'm like, wait a minute, I have a group. I have people in my group that I'm coaching. It's amazing. Like, and just get into that vibration. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, swiping the tablet, whenever you get into that lack or, you know, need kind of
Yeah.
mentality, swipe the tablet, go back
Yeah.
and look at your list of things that are
Yeah,
working,
totally.
that are bountiful, growing. When you
Yeah.
focus on that, you get more of that.
Yeah, and I actually talked about that with my group yesterday, and I just keep mentioning to others, and as I do that, I remind myself of it, and it just, I notice myself like 10 times a day, I fall back into like, oh, and then, you know, in the lack space, and then nope, you know, switch it back, and I switch like 10 times a day. It's just
It's just a
crazy.
bad habit. It's like smoking cigarettes that you're trying to quit, right?
Yeah.
So you just keep reminding yourself, eventually that will get less and less, but you
Yeah.
have to stay on top of it.
You know, last time you told me about, you know, being in the fun and the energy and
Mhm.
do things that, you know, because I was in a very rural location and, you know, without people and stuff. And for me, what really helps me is having people around and sun. And so I think if I can continue traveling, and that might be the last question, like this year, I just want to be more in sunny places, like travel more to sunny places. And I just hope that's going to happen. I really do, because I know that puts me in the right
Well,
vibration.
that's the wrong word. You hope it's going to happen. You're going to make it happen. You're making
Yeah, I'm
choices,
going to
right?
make it happen. Yeah.
It's up to
That's
you
why
whether
I,
that happens.
yeah.
Take control of
Yeah.
your life. Make those choices. Make sure it
Yeah.
happens. And then you'll feel better. So there's a really
Mm.
wonderful lesson for you about making empowered choices. Why would you even consider going to France when you complained about how it's cold and you don't like it there?
I know,
There are no
that's
people.
how I made my decision. That's exactly how I made my decision to book to Portugal. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess, you know what, with your choices, I kept telling myself when you mentioned that in the beginning, like, but wait a minute, what if you don't have choices? But it's also creating choices, I suppose, or seeing the choice. I don't know. It's sometimes hard to see the choices, but I think
Well,
that's
when
it.
you make certain choices, that makes other choices available to you. You are moving forward. You're opening more doors. But if you're sitting there stuck saying, I don't know what to do, then you're not moving forward to see the open doors.
Yeah. 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 Thank you, Deborah. Yep.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Let it come.
Yes. Neha.
Yeah, hello, hi.
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 What's your question?
Yeah, these 2 things I have been struggling with my health, with certain diseases coming
I'm
up,
having trouble hearing you,
heat.
Neha. I can't hear you well.
Can you hear me well now?
That's better.
Yeah, so I'm struggling with my health and finding a right partner. Like I'm 31 and in India, there's a lot of pressure to get married and like have a family. And now I'm also choosing to get married to my soulmate and have a family of my own. So want some help. I'm praying also to the angels. So what's blocking my union with my soulmate, potential soulmate, and like what can I do with I'm doing my inner work from years and it's really like I'm missing the train, getting too old these, and then one or the other health issue coming up. Like earlier I had this irregular periods, right now facing diabetes. So just it feels like it's been ages I am having this all health and relationship issues and not coming to a fruitful end.
Okay, so the health and the soulmate. What can you tell Neha? They're saying you need to focus on that health issue and get that cleared up first, because you don't have time to focus your energy on a relationship. You've got to get you well so that you can come forward with your full vibrant self into this new relationship, right? So make that your priority, get you healthy. Then you can put energy into a relationship. But it's really important that you take care of yourself first.
Yeah, I'm taking care of myself. Like I'm doing the energy work, and yeah, when it comes to doing the exercise, the work just captures me. like making a earning. So I have to work extra hard, like a day job, and again doing the business work. So I'm doing that, and meanwhile, all this stress of the like Indian culture and the family that you are 31 and you have to get married, you are getting old, the clock is ticking, and I also choose to have a family of my own. I have kids someday, but and I'm tired of dating. I don't know where to find him and how he will find him. So I'm putting the half question away so that the universe can
Okay, but
do
you're
its
still putting
work.
the cart
Anything
before the
that helps.
horse. You're putting all your energy into this future family and this future relationship. You are not living today. You are not taking care of Neha today, and you are stopping yourself from having that relationship. So they're saying, stop it. Take care of you. Get healthy. Get your mind off that stuff in the future. Be in the present, right? Get yourself healthy first. You have to do that. Those other doors are going to be closed to you until you take care of this health issue. Because you're not a suitable partner for somebody like this. And that's not a criticism of you, Neha. That's lovingly encouraging you, my dear child, take care of yourself because you deserve it. And then you will come forward. You will be a healthy, vibrant partner for someone. But you don't want to sabotage that relationship by coming into it sick and needing help, right?
Yeah, so I'm taking care, like I'm doing the energy work and I'm having my medical checkup. So currently the only issue I'm having is I'm overweight and having this diabetes condition. So I'm taking medicines and I'm like planning to be healthy so that I don't need the medicines. Anything that they are saying so that I can do any action from my end that I should take.
Yeah, I didn't get most of that. It's really hard to hear you. Are you taking action
Anything,
to work on your health?
yeah. Yeah, any action that they are that will be really good if I take, because I'm doing the both energy work and the real work.
Let's ask this question.
Like,
The work that you're doing on your health, is that effective? Is that all she needs to do? No, there's more you need to do. So is this traditional medical help that she needs? No. Okay. So there's something alternative. I'm hearing ashwagandha. Do you do anything with that?
I was having a medicine that had that ingredient.
Lean more into that because that's the word that came up and I don't even know much about that. So like, it's not coming from me. I don't know what that means, but it's coming up for you
It's
for
a
a reason.
Ayurvedic herb.
It's an
Yeah,
herb
it's a
of some
Ayurvedic
sort.
herb, and no, it's a herb kind of thing in India, and like Indians, that we use herbs for the treatment. Earlier, there were no modern medicines. So yeah, I went to a like a doctor who was homeopathic. So she prescribed me some pills, and I will go visit her again.
Dive more into that and see if there's something else that person can help you with, because it feels like there are some
Okay,
doors to be explored in that area.
okay, okay,
Okay,
yeah, okay. Thank you.
you're welcome. Nicole, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you.
How was your vacation?
It was fantastic. And then we got COVID. It's okay. We're fine. In fact, that's what my question is, but we had a great time. Everything is awesome. But that's what my question was about, is about physical health, about, what is it I need to do to move forward? So I rarely get sick. I really can't complain much. But I do have autoimmune issues, which I'm working on and have been for a while with pretty decent success, but I'm concerned that this is starting all of that. Pardon me, my dog is barking in the background.
Okay.
If you can hear. So yeah, I'd just like to know any guidance they have on my health.
Okay. So
Thank
for
you.
Nicole, what can you tell her? I'm seeing you parsing it. like it's not one thing or another, it's multiple things. And it's like you need to split it apart, almost like you would, if you're going to braid hair, how you would split it into sections and deal with one section at a time. Does that make any sense? Is there a way that you can parse it that way?
I guess, I mean,
Okay, here's what's coming. So,
right.
so I do a lot of stuff with homeopathy.
Yeah.
And the way it works is you treat outside in. So you treat the symptoms that are presenting. And then as those symptoms are cleared up, then you go a deeper layer. And so you keep going down until you get to the core of it. So if you start with the outside in, what would be the symptoms you need to treat first? If you can take that kind of a stance towards it, then you're going to burrow in. And finally, by the time you get to the core, it's just going to be ready to pop out.
Okay. So one thing at a time. So right now I feel like my issue is extremely low energy. So yes, I know there's always diet things to be addressed and so on, but I'm wondering if they have any guidance about traditional medicine, or just keep doing what I'm doing and wait for things to work, or
Okay. So
maybe
is
homeopathy or
is
whatever.
doing what she's doing now the optimal choice for Nicole? No, you need to change things up. Okay. There was something that flashed and then it went away. What are the symptoms that are, it's the low energy, right? Okay. So, and you've tried the vital force energy meditation. Is that helpful?
I have not tried that in the past several days. I mean,
Okay.
I did.
I would start there because that's the most
Okay.
obvious, break it
Okay.
down to the simple. Don't
Yep.
make it overly complex.
Yep.
It's like, okay, my symptom is low energy. What do you do about low energy? You get
Right.
vital force energy until you're overflowing,
Perfect.
and see if that helps. And if that helps, then you give that a little while and then you move on to the next thing, and you just keep moving forward, knocking one thing over at a time until you've conquered it.
Gotcha. That's a good plan. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Janny, good morning. Are you still here?
I'm
I see
here. I just
you.
didn't have a
Ah.
question. I'm just, good morning to everybody.
Oh, you didn't have a question. Okay, good
No,
morning. I see somebody waving up there. Hi.
yeah, it's a cute little baby.
Okay, Debbie, what's your question? Are you here?
Unmute. Yep, just took me a second to unmute.
Okay.
I woke up really anxious this morning, and my morning meditation was extremely chaotic. There's been a change of guard at school with a retirement, and then a new person's coming in, and I get stressed when this person is in my energy field. And I'm really questioning, oh, see, I'm getting tears. Hang on.
Okay, while you're focusing, think about this. What about that person causes you to feel stressed? Is it past experience, or is it energy, something else?
Judgment. I feel judged. She goes really quick in her thinking and her opinions and her comments, and I can't keep up. I feel judged and I shut down.
What if she's not judging you, that's a misperception on your part?
It very well could be. It
So
very well could.
Could you ask her to slow down, reframe, repeat, anything like that?
I can try that.
It's about asking for what you need.
Yeah,
You're not asking for what you need, and she's not a mind reader.
exactly.
So probably
really
she's
quick. I mean, she'll hear something because, I'm dyslexic and I say things kind of awkwardly sometimes. and she'll take that first thought and then just slam with it, if that makes any sense. It's like,
Yeah.
I find her energy difficult to be around, but she might be there to help me be a better teacher. She might be there to help me be more confident. She might be that person. I just haven't felt it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And it's like, because she's so quick and you're struggling, it makes you feel inferior.
Yeah.
That feels bad, which causes you to then hunker down and have even more trouble understanding her. So if you change the script, stop feeling like she's judging you or that it's negative, because you're writing the story.
Yeah.
Let's write the story that she thinks you are so amazing that you can keep up with her, and it never occurred to her that you're falling behind. So you've got to let her know. It's not like she's attacking you or it's personal or anything negative. Give her the opportunity to serve you in that way, but you have to let her know she's got to slow down.
Okay.
So if you, instead of going into that hunkered down place of feeling hurt and judged, send her love because she's bringing you this great opportunity, that will shift the dynamic between you.
Okay. So then I've got that. But then my next question, I have 3 years left of teaching that I think I have. Is that accurate?
Okay.
Should I be teaching for 3 more years?
Is it an optimal choice for Debbie to teach for 3 more years? Yes, but let's ask this question. Is it an optimal choice to teach in the traditional school system for 3 more years? No. What about 1 more year? Wow, not even 1 more year. You need to switch out of the traditional mode into something different, because it's round peg, square hole. That's what I'm getting.
Yeah. When? Now or in June?
Okay. So would it be optimal to switch now? No. June? Yeah, June feels good. You got to give yourself time to work out the details.
Okay. That feels better to me. It's calming me down.
And meanwhile, you've got those 5 months to see what you can do with this situation, that you can walk away feeling triumphant. You figured it out. You learned something that you will carry forward and will serve you.
Yeah. Yeah. This emotion is really weird because I haven't done it for a while.
Yeah. Well, it's been all jammed up and blocked for a long time.
Yeah. Well, no, but I haven't felt this anxiety for a while. So it's really weird to have woken up with it, even though there's this changing of the guard at school.
Yeah. But it's an opportunity. They're bringing it to your attention so you can deal with it.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is, they wouldn't have done that if you weren't ready to deal with it. This is a win.
All right. Thank you.
You see how you write the story and you spin it to serve you?
I'm going to have to practice that.
Yeah.
I know how to do it. I just forget.
Well, it took me about 35 years to figure out that guy that tormented me, that I used to work for many years ago, actually did me a favor and taught me this really amazing lesson, but it took that long to get it because I'm stubborn and I carry a grudge.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it takes the time it takes. When you're ready, you'll get it. And your angels are there helping you, which is why it came up this morning. You've been in this meditation process, so you're opening the doors for that. Layers and layers of healing. So when it comes, don't resist it. Flow with it.
Yeah, it was just like, I don't remember what word it was. Clutter, 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 spin, spin, spin. And the end was keep it simple. Keep it simple, Deb. Keep it simple.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think you helped me answer some questions that I was asking during my meditation today, but I wasn't getting an answer. Well, no, I wasn't getting an answer. What I got is to ask you. So thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Good timing.
All right.
Okay. You said you have goosebumps about the channeling for Mary to write. Yeah. I think it was Shirley, but yeah, it's really awesome. Epiphany, you're next. Hi.
Morning.
Good
Hi.
morning.
Okay, yeah. So I was able to connect with my friend about our past reading, the one where we found out we have a karmic connection and we need to cut the cord. And so I found a prayer to do, and how to cut the cord, and asking, she would like to do it on like a full moon or a new moon. So do you have any say on what might be a better moon to do a ceremony like that, a cutting of a karmic cord, a past connection for 22 lifetimes?
Let's ask. So would it be optimal to do the ceremony and cut the cords on a new moon? What about a full moon? Yeah, full moon is a better answer.
Okay. I was thinking new moon, so I'm glad I asked. Okay. And then I have a question. I'm thinking about moving to Houston, Texas in the spring. I want to know if that's like an optimal choice for me.
Okay. So is Houston an optimal place for Epiphany to relocate? It feels good, but it also feels like there may be something connected to that that might be even better. Is that what you're saying? It's another choice? Yeah. So is there another place you were thinking of?
No, but I'm doing it for a specific reason. Like I have a reason behind it, and I want to do it for like for future financial planning.
Okay.
And so I'm picking Houston. Short term. Yeah, like a couple years. Yeah, like maybe 4 years, or
it's
maybe doing like a permanent.
Yeah.
And I've never been there, and I want to visit, but I'm looking at it as like a financial planning thing, not necessarily like I feel like this is where I want to settle down. But I just wanted to see if that was a good choice right now. I mean, there's obviously other states, but yeah, for some reason, Texas just kind of kept coming up.
Yeah. So it feels optional, or optimal rather, but there's like this catch in my solar plexus when I got that. So it's like there's something attached to it that's a little wonky that might have to be smoothed out. So just do it with your eyes open.
Okay. So like when I go visit, like really be aware of like, maybe is this like feeling right? Not going in with like the logical mind, like the financial planning kind of thing, or going more with the heart. Proceed with caution.
Yeah, it's like, don't go barreling in there full blast. Proceed with caution.
Because I almost thought about going there without even visiting. So that's actually a really good, thing to say that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's probably what that little glitch was about that I was feeling.
Okay. Proceed with caution. Okay. And then just finally, I mean, I'm kind of feeling like I'm on my path. Do my guides have anything they just want to tell me that I'm not catching in my daily meditations or in daily life?
Anything you want to share with Epiphany today? They're saying you got this. Go, girl.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's great. Good reassurance. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I apologize, you guys. My feed jumped on me and I missed a couple people, so I'm going back around to get you now. So Katharina, you're next.
Hi, Deborah.
Hi.
Hi. So my question, I've been pretty lost the last few months. Last time I was on one of these calls, I was about to move to England to support my dad, who was pretty sick. Right before I was supposed to move there, he actually died. So I didn't end up going, and I ended up, I was giving up my lease on my apartment, so I gave up the lease anyway, ended up staying with family for a while, and have been working remotely in Mexico for the last couple months, which has been good, but I'm just very much, I just really want to stop and settle down somewhere. And I guess my question is, I feel very much like I need to change up my life, but there's nothing that's exciting me about how to do it and where. And at the same time, like, I'm just exhausted. Like, I just want to stop and rest, but I just feel like I don't really have that option resources wise. Specifically, I don't know what my question actually is. I guess, how do I make a decision in this situation, and how do I do things differently? That's a pretty vague question, but do they have any guidance?
Yeah. So do you have anything that you can share with Katerina? Just it's slow down, breathe, do some meditation, stop getting into that frenzied energy where you feel like you've got to do something right now. Take your time, flow with it. Because when you rush into things, then you often don't make the best decision. So now is not the time to rush. You're going through the grieving process. Give yourself time.
Okay, thank you. So in that situation, to give myself time, I have to continue staying with people and not really having a place of my own. And that's really challenging. And I feel like that's actually wearing me down and zapping a lot of my energy. So is that something I should continue doing anyway?
Okay, so for Katharina, would it be optimal to continue staying with friends? No, it's not. So is there another option for living circumstances available to her? They're saying there's something else available. So maybe it's something that isn't ideal and you don't really want to do it, but it still might be better than what you're already doing.
Is going to England an optimal choice right now?
Okay. So would going to England be an optimal choice? That feels really good.
It's the thing I don't want to do. It's the thing I'm resisting doing because I don't have a community there, and my dad's not there, and my mom and I have a difficult relationship. So that would be a really hard thing, but they're saying it's a good thing.
Yeah, I get a very warm feeling in my solar plexus with that. So there's some opportunity for you there that if you went that direction, it could be very positive. Okay. But the choice is always yours.
Right. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so first, good noon, and we have noon here.
Oh,
and
awesome.
I just want to give a little background, to my question. My mother passed about 12 years ago, and I was in Israel for three years ago, and I've been many times, but 3 years ago, I decided that I wanted to go in her honor to visit the cave of Elijah in the outskirts of Haifa, because she, in her life, she saw him many times in her dream and in person, in vision, and I wanted to do that. And I decided to go. And as I came, out of the parking lot just before the cave, it's like 400, 500 yards that you have to climb into the mountain. There was a busload of pilgrims that came from Ethiopia, men and women. The women were all wearing white and kind of golden trim, and the men were wearing black with golden trim, and we all climbed, the mountain, to the cave, and we were there, and we actually came down together. But this morning in my meditation, which I started with the Akashic prayer, as you suggested, and in my meditation, I was taken to that image, to that place, but the addition to it, I was hearing the whole time is angels are ascending and descending. Angels are ascending and descending. And my question is this a part of, well, when I got up from the meditation and I was kind of pondering, what is it all about? I was having a memory of me in the same year that I visited, that cave. I went to with friends to visit some fresco, artistic fresco down in the Jordan River. And I never known about that event or anything. I showed up at the river when pilgrims from Ethiopia again were baptizing themselves in the river. And there were hundreds of them, and it was just a beautiful vision to see, just as a tourist, just to see it, So I'm questioning it. What is the connection, and what is it for me? Is it a continuation of the conversation we had yesterday of Stephanie's, grappling with her beliefs, etc., to tell me something, or there is something there personal for me to understand?
Okay. So this thing about angels ascending and descending, is that part of the continuing message that Rachel's been getting? Something new. Okay, so what about it? Why is this important for her to know? What it's feeling like, Rachel, is, excuse me, they want you to get the idea that angels are very active. They're going back and forth all the time. They're not just up there overseeing. They are active, they are here, they are present, but they're traveling back and forth as needed to do their work. So it's a more familiar, connected energy from the angels than being off somewhere. Does that make sense?
Yes, very
That's
much.
the energy.
Yeah, and I just wanted to know why does it say ascending and then descending? Why doesn't it say the other way around? It doesn't make any difference.
Oh, I
It
don't
just,
think that matters. It's just the way it came out. But you know, it's they're here with you. They're traveling back and forth because we are on a lower dimension than they are. So that's why up and down, right?
okay. Okay. That was a beautiful you know, kind of image and picture, you know, and just to remember it, because I was at awe when I saw it at the time, you know, but I never made any connection, but the newness and not knowing about the event in either way, you know, those pilgrims, you know, in the cave of Elijah and the pilgrims in the Jordan River, you know, the newness of it and not knowing about it, you know, that's what really moves me more, you know, that I showed up that day when it happens once a year in the Jordan River.
Yeah, no coincidences. You were there when you needed to be there.
I suppose so. Yeah.
It opened doors for you and planted seeds.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
But I think mostly what they're trying to do is help you to form a more personal connection with your angels.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Shannon.
I have a couple of questions. So
Okay, go ahead.
First one is, you know, I've noticed getting in a loop of thinking that there's something that I need to fix, and then so that I'm constantly taking courses or you know, working on things that and then it just feels like I'm perpetuating having to fix something about myself instead of, you know, realizing that everything is fine and there's nothing and I'm perfect the way I am and I don't need to fix anything. And so recently I've gotten, you know, to a point where I was like, okay, I'm in a groove. I'm not trying to fix anything. And then of course I had a bad day the other day and I'm crying and sobbing and I get an email about some course about healing trauma. And so I signed up and submitted for a scholarship because, you know, finances are a little tight right now. And I get the response back that I got a 50% scholarship and that it's a 9-month thing to heal trauma. And now, you know, the timing of it, as far as the schedule of this 9-month course fits into my schedule. It's $700, which is a little like, oh, I don't know if I can afford that. And so my question is it an optimal choice for me to take this course, or do I just walk away from it and not need to go down that route?
Okay. So for Shannon, would it be an optimal choice to take this trauma healing course? No.
Okay.
You don't need it. You're
That's what I
already
thought.
on that
And
path.
yeah, you know, and I kept getting like, that, you know, you don't need to go back in time. Like in this morning's meditation, I saw this clock, you know, and it's going back in time, but then I can confuse myself. And when I dive deeper, like my first instinct's like, no, I don't need it. But then it's like, well, maybe I'm misreading that. And so like I confuse myself by, you know what I mean?
I do.
So that helps with knowing that I had the right idea. Okay. And then the second one is I recently took a part-time job, and there are moments during this training of this part-time job where I'm like, oh, I don't think this is the optimal choice for me. And so I was curious if the part-time job is or isn't.
Okay. So for Shannon, is this part-time job an optimal choice for the present? Yeah, it feels good.
Okay.
And so what you're experiencing is what everybody experiences when they have to learn new skills, right?
Yes, I kind of knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and then my last question is, I've had a couple of people, psychics or, people that speak to, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but tell me that like the angels love me and that I've already earned my wings. And I don't know what that really means because I assume the angels love everybody. So it's like, how does that change? Okay. And what does it mean by, I'm curious about like what that means. Can I
Okay.
get any?
Yeah, I don't know what it means, but let's just
Okay.
ask and see. So for Shannon, this whole thing about angels loving her and earning her wings, can you shed light on that? They're saying, oh, honey, they love you to the moon and back. And I'm just seeing them surrounding you and holding you. That's always been the case. It's not something you did. You got that by birthright. We all
Okay.
did.
That's what I thought.
So
Okay.
loved. And as far as wings, is there anything about the wings she needs to know? Oh, I see them lifting you up. So it's allowing yourself to accept that love, to trust that love, to believe that love. That will guide you forward, give you strength, and help you as you make these new choices.
Okay.
And it's confidence. Confidence is coming up. So you need more confidence.
Yeah, and that's coming up in this part-time job where I'm aware, like, oh gosh, when I'm talking about something that I'm confident, like I know I'm real confident and I don't have an issue. But when I have to talk to people about something that I'm learning and like have to follow a script or something, it's real uncomfortable because I'm afraid I'm going to mess up. And so, yeah, that's really coming up lately in this training.
Yeah, so just let that go.
Okay.
You are doing the best that you can, and that's all anybody can ask of you. When you feel a little wobbly, just call on your angels to move in a little closer to stabilize you.
Okay.
And with that confidence that your angels are stabilizing you, you're going to be better because you'll relax.
And then is there any other guidance that they have for me?
Okay. Anything else you'd like to share with Shannon? They're blowing you kisses. They want you to feel that love. It's very visceral. And it's like, it's coming, it's here, but there's a barricade. It's not penetrating. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You need to let it penetrate. You need to let it really sink into your being and believe it.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Sarah.
Hello, Happy New Year, everybody.
Hi, Happy New Year.
I'm trusting that my guides kind of know all the issues that I've been dealing with. I'm back on the 21-day meditation challenge, although I didn't stop meditating since the last one. So I've been showing up, I've been doing the work. Sometimes things are happening for me, like in day-to-day life. I'm getting a much better connection with my guides, but I'd just like to know if they have any guidance for me at this time or any advice for me.
Okay. So for Sarah, what would you like to share today? Are you into horses or ponies?
No, I used to be, but I'm not anymore. I've fallen off too many.
I'm seeing ponies and they're like kind of moving in a small herd of ponies. I don't know why. Let's see what that's about. So why are you showing Sarah ponies?
I love animals.
You know how ponies have that real forward energy and they're fearless. They just keep going. Nothing seems to stop these ponies, at least the ones I've met. So it's that energy of the ponies that they're encouraging you to embody. And if you want to visualize yourself in the midst of that little pony herd, they're surrounding you and they are lending you that energy to carry you forward to do what you want to do.
Okay.
So you're
What
being
if I don't know what
supported
I
by
want to do?
angelic ponies.
Okay. I like angelic ponies.
Yeah. So what were you going to say?
What if I don't really know what I want to do? Like, I'm kind of doing, but doesn't necessarily mean I know what I'm doing. I'm just doing day by day.
So that's why the herd of ponies, Sarah, because they're surrounding you and they're going to turn left or right or stop. And you're going to as well because you're right in the center of them. So those ponies are guiding you.
Okay.
You don't have to worry about it. Just keep moving forward, flowing.
Okay. That's great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Katja, glad you could be here.
I'm so glad to make it. How are you?
Wonderful. Happy to see you.
Happy to see you. Okay, so I have a couple of questions. So, recently I kind of was downloaded different direction in my business, and I would call it heart healing. So it's healing through art. And I also work as a leadership coach, and I absolutely love what I do in corporate as well and interact in corporate. So I've been wondering which is the optimal direction, if there is one. And if it's boss, then how would it look like? Because I could be overthinking, I'm probably overthinking. I love boss and I have results with boss. So if it's boss directions, then how is it going to look like?
So what I'm hearing is just because you can doesn't mean you should. So when you think about them, which one makes you the happiest, the most fulfilling of the two?
It's like asking me if I would have two kids, which one I would love better.
Okay.
Both of them are very excited. And it could be because one of them is very new. It's a new direction, and another one is more stable direction. So, but both of them I love.
Okay. So for Katja, she's got these two choices. Is it optimal for her to continue on this double track with both? That's not an optimal choice. It might work okay in the short term, but long term, it's going to fizzle for you. It's just too much to ask of yourself. So the corporate, is that the optimal choice? No. And the coaching. The coaching is the optimal choice. And here's what's coming up, Katja. It's that fear. There's a fear behind it. If you let go of the corporate, because that's been like your life preserver, that's the steady Eddie you can count on. It's always there. And
I do, okay, but I am coaching in corporate. That's the thing. So if you say the coaching is optimal, that's exactly what I'm doing in corporate.
Let me ask if that's separate then.
Okay, yeah, I just want to make sure.
Are you saying that the coaching in corporate is an optimal choice? No. It's your business. It's your personal business that you are responsible for. Your entrepreneur business, whatever that is.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But, the thing is, you can still do them both. It's just if you try to do this for the long term, it's going to be overwhelming and you're going to burn out, which is not an optimal choice.
Yeah.
So at some point, they're both good. But in the long term, the entrepreneur journey is going to serve your heart better and your soul better. Doesn't mean you have to choose that, but in the long term, you would feel better doing that.
So now the question then is this new direction of mine with going more towards healing through art, is that the optimal direction, or is it just a part of my whole coaching?
Okay. So the work healing through art, is that an optimal choice for the full focus for Katja? No, it's a part of it, because it wouldn't be fulfilling all by itself. There's more aspects of you that you want to give to the world. You don't want to
it makes total sense. So I was looking at it as including as a part of my mindset coaching is going with healing through art, because it's part of healing trauma, and then going full force kind of in other directions.
Yeah. And they're also saying that what you choose today that brings you joy and satisfaction will probably change over time because you're changing over time. So it's okay to flow with that.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. Definitely makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's when you try to lock it down and say, this is what I'm going to do forever, that's where the problems arise. That's when you feel like you're trapped. It's like a rabbit in a cage is what I'm seeing.
Okay. So I have another question for while coaching in corporate. So there was an idea from me to turn it into business, still with the same company. So it will be my business and have several coaches under me, because that's what this company needs. Is it optimal?
Okay. So would it be optimal would it be like a consulting gig with that company then? You'd be an independent?
Almost, yeah. So that's what I would love to, to get to the consulting and have several coaches under me as well. Mhm.
Okay. So would it be an optimal choice for Katja to build this consulting business with more coaches under her? Yeah, that feels really good. And that's in addition to the healing with art? Yeah. Yeah, it's a branch of it. Because you're too expansive to be limited to just one thing.
Well, and healing with art could be part of it. So that's another thing, right? So that could be just one part of the consulting.
And that's why being the independent entrepreneur is so important, because you get to decide what it looks like.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do they have anything else for me?
Okay. Anything else you want to share with Katja? Stop overthinking. That's what they said. Stop overthinking.
Okay.
More joy, more flow.
Yep. Yeah. That's what I've been
Feeling your
trying
way
to.
through.
Yeah, that's all I've been doing, really. Yeah, but sometimes you get into, especially, I would like to get into this call. What question should I ask?
Yeah, out of your head and into your heart.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Warrior Girl, you had a message for Debbie. A lot of people are looking to keep their babies safe, so homeschooling. Okay. Sydney, what's your question?
Yes. Hi. Thank you. I'm just struggling with a pause. I've had 2 careers. I was a graphic designer in New York. I've been a massage therapist for a lot of years, decades, 3 decades. And I just need to know what direction to put my energy in, what to do, where to go. Thankfully, money seems to be working out with working very little right now, but I really need help with knowing to reclaim my art. I don't know, what kind of job or career do I need to go towards?
Okay.
Back to my art, something else.
So for Sydney, the optimal choice of focus for a career right now, would that be her massage work? That's good right now. And is that optimal to do that by itself? No, because your soul is wanting to expand into other things, Sydney. So you're not going to be satisfied if you just focus only on the massage. You need to find a way to incorporate those other aspects that are wanting to come forth from you. And it feels like part of the problem is limitations of vision. It's like that tunnel vision. It's like, this is a box, and that's a box. And you're not seeing how you can take those 3 things out of the boxes and have them connect. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really talented in a lot of ways. And it frustrates me, like I haven't been able to bring those things to life. And you can hear I'm not well right now either. How to bring those things to life so that the prosperity, I'm really tired of pushing a boulder up a hill. I mean, I do good work. I've helped people. I've been a massage therapist over 30 years. I've touched people for over 25,000 hours, but I need to focus on myself now. I need to focus on my own art or a career or something that takes life in a new way. And quite frankly, I just feel like I don't have the energy. I just want to be in the next thing. But because I do so many things well is one thing, but also I'm 59 and I'm not just out of school, and my computer skills aren't, I don't know 10 programs like the new kids on the block. So I just really need help with where to put my energy to I mean, I feel like I keep starting over all the time, and I'm just tired of it. I don't know what this lesson is. I keep moving. I keep starting over with business in a sense, like all sorts of stuff. So I just want that to stop because it's exhausting.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing is stop, stop, stop. You don't like pushing the boulder up the hill, so stop doing it. Do things that don't feel like pushing a boulder up a hill. You don't like that things are not moving forward, so stop pursuing those things that are not working. It's like you go to this smorgasbord and you pick up some of the items and you say, I don't like that, and you keep eating it anyway. Well, why are you doing that? If you don't like it, stop eating it. And the same can be applied to your business. So those things that you're doing, you don't like it, don't do it. Find something else. Instead of focusing on, I can't do this and I can't do that and I can't do that. That's blocking you majorly. Stop saying that. Focus instead on what you can do. I can do this and I can do that, because you said you're multi-talented. So you get those talents, you put them all out in front of you, and you feel through your solar plexus, which of these feel the best? Which would I like to put energy and focus into, and do that? Does that make sense?
It does. I guess I'm just exhausted over life right now. I just can't.
Yeah. So you need a break. You need to take care of yourself. Do some vital force energy meditation. That would help. Give yourself that space while you're in that self-care space and you're re-energizing. Then you can think about all those buckets of things that you might like to do, and pick just one or two. Don't do them all, because that's exhausting. There you go, overextending, pushing the boulder up a hill again.
Okay. I feel like I've been in question for quite some time about it. The other question that's really important is, I have this pattern, and I've tried to get help shamanically and all sorts of stuff, where people keep taking advantage and vandalizing my home over and over again. And so I move and I don't make people responsible. Or it's one of the places where I even have people on camera. 3 separate lawyers said it would be $8,000 to take them to court. I mean, how many times should I just turn the other cheek? I don't understand why this keeps happening to me. I mean, and then I go into my closet, or I go into a drawer, and something there is vandalized. So it's sort of like this arrow, that just keeps following me. Do I make people responsible? Do I let go? That also, it's just so oppressive and upsetting.
Yeah. So it's kind of similar, Sydney. It's, you have this victim energy, you're attracting those things to yourself. So instead of looking outside and making people responsible and moving and all those things, which are not working, you've been doing that, it's not working. You've got to go to the source, and you're the source. How can you shift your energy to stop believing that you're going to be victimized? That's one thing. The other thing is, the zip up that I recommended for yourself, extend it to your home. Zip up your home, your belongings, protect it energetically. Ask your angels to help you do that. Then you won't have to keep moving. You won't have to be entertaining ideas about, do I prosecute or not, and all of those things. You don't want to even get there. You want to get to the source of this victim energy. Now, it's quite possible there's some kind of past life story that's attached to that needs to be released.
Well, that I've been working with a shaman. I've been working with all sorts of people to address that. I mean, I have the unfortunate. My last name is famous, so then I don't understand if people. I'm not famous, but if people were like, "Oh, she thinks she's whatever," and I mean, this happens in my storage units. It's happened in my home. It's unbelievable to me. And my life is that I give to people and I help people solve their problems. So I don't know how this has started, and if it's a past life thing, I am trying to address it. But and it's not like I come into my home and someone spray painted the property. Then you're like, okay, I'm going to clean it up. No, I go in, and I went to take out my late uncle's fire shirt to wear it, his sweatshirt, and it was vandalized. So it's things that show up because someone sneakily comes in and it's just all over the place. So anyway, so now my last question, I guess, is just if my guides have just really strong recommendation. I'm just exhausted over life and all this nonsense, really.
So yeah, what they're saying is it's time to write a new story, Sydney, because you're
Well,
sitting here pouring out this negative story about your life and you're being victimized because of your name, and what you're doing by reciting it is you're calling more of it to you. And this is not to criticize you. I want you to open your eyes and see it. As long as you keep repeating that story of this is who I am, that's what you are creating as your reality.
I have accepted so much, and then I go on to the next thing, being like, okay, I'm safe, I'm going to go forward, and not looking for it, and it still happens. So I'm only sharing it for support. I'm not,
No, I understand.
I don't, because it pushes people away, and it pushes people away, and it creates something else when I share with people. So I don't.
But if you believe that you're being victimized because you have that last name, then you have two choices. You can stop believing that, or you can change your name.
I think it's part of it, and or ancestral
positive
history.
action. That it would be taking action to change things. So if you stay there and you keep repeating over and over, it's just going to keep going on. You're going to feel victimized. So it's you drawing the line in the sand and saying, I'm not a victim. I'm not going to let people take advantage of me. You don't have to do those nice things for people unless it feels good to you to do it. That's when you throw yourself out there to be walked on by people. So part of your journey, this is part of your soul journey, is walking out of this victim energy. So it's putting on your zip up, it's zipping up your home and your property, you taking positive action to protect yourself until you don't need to anymore. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I hope that's true. I mean, I just keep asking for help and
But when you're asking for help in that sense, you are claiming victimhood. You don't need to ask for that help. You are a powerful being on your own. It's time for you to step forward, draw that line, put up your zip up, your force field. You take control, you protect. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so to me that almost means like I need to start making people responsible because that's my way of standing up, like.
Well, if you haven't done that before, try it and see what happens.
Yeah.
You won't know until you try. The important thing is you need to do something different. What you're doing is creating the same results. So when you notice that happening, there's a pattern. That means you've got to change something to break that pattern.
Right. But my biggest question though is someone driving that pattern? Is there a someone who's setting an intention that somehow is overriding my prayers and meditations that is affecting that for some reason?
All right. So for Sydney, is there a curse or a being or some outside force that is perpetuating this victimhood in her life? No. I mean, there might be energies from past life, Sydney, but you are perpetuating it because you're in that pattern. You've dug that rut so deep that you're going to have to climb hand over hand on a rope to get out of that rut and create your new, wonderful, bright life. It's totally possible, but it's not easy. It's going to take work and persistence. But first, self-care.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Rebecca. Hi.
Hello. Yeah, do you hear me? Yeah?
I hear you. Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay. Hello. Okay, I've got a question. My grandfather passed away a long time ago, but he keeps popping in my head. And so I was wondering whether he has a message for me or something to say.
Okay.
Do you need his name? No, it's fine.
For Rebecca, is there a message from her grandfather? Were you close to him? Did you know him, or were you very young when he went?
No, I knew him well.
Okay, because that wasn't clear to me. All right, so Grandpa, what are you trying to tell Rebecca? Oh, it's about your growth, Rebecca. He sees that you are going through this massive growth and he's there to support you.
Okay.
So that's why
Okay.
he's showing up, because he wants you to know you're not alone. You've got support, and it's not just him. There are others. So if you're
Okay.
feeling that, like this is really hard and, you know, it's kind of scary sometimes, you're not alone. They've got your back, along with your angels, of course.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. And I just one other question. I keep hearing 10,000 euros. And so I'm wondering whether I should focus on working and getting these 10,000 euros, or if it's better just to focus on what I really like to do and this money will come to me. Like, should I focus on working now and getting this amount of money, or should I just find any way, like it will just come by itself?
Okay, let's ask a different question first. So the 10,000 euros, is that from Rebecca's guides? No. Is it from ego? Yeah, that's what I was feeling. It's from ego. So
Okay, yeah.
don't even worry about 10,000 euros.
Okay.
The question
Yeah.
is, what do you want to do? What brings you joy?
Yeah, okay, okay.
Because you're taking on an unnecessary responsibility if you have in your head, oh, I must go accomplish this. It's going to totally
Yeah,
take you
okay.
off your path. And
Yeah.
that's what ego does. Because
Yeah.
ego wants to hold you back and keep you safe. So it's
Yeah,
giving you
okay.
this distraction to keep you from stepping into your purpose.
Yeah, okay. I was kind of feeling that. Okay, thank you. And just a general message to
Okay.
from my guides.
Anything-
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Anything else you want to share with Rebecca? Well, I'm hearing Tarara Boom DA. So they're celebrating with you that you've got this clarity and now you're going to get back moving forward again. Anything else? Oh yeah, now it's just this peaceful, beautiful waltz and you're just flowing. And I'm seeing you like in one of those princess dresses and the ball gown, right? And you're dancing and life is just flowing and it feels so wonderful. And they want you to know that's the way it should be.
Okay.
Right? When you're on your path, it flows like that. Doesn't mean there won't be challenges, but more of that flowing energy.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Susan C., you have a question?
Hi.
Hi.
Does my team have any message for me?
Okay, so for Susan, is there a message you'd like to share today? Oh, I see them just like petting you, stroking your hair. They're wanting to soothe and calm you, to let you know that they really are that close. They want you to feel them. It's almost like there's a detachment energy where you believe that they're there. You know that they're there, but you don't physically feel that they're there. And they want you to know that they are that close.
Okay. They poked me once about a month ago. They poked me once about a month
Right.
ago.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is there anything else you want to share with Susan? It's lean on them more, Susan. You don't have to do this all alone. They really are there to support you. So you might think you've been asking for a lot, but they're saying ask for more.
Okay.
And it's like, use your imagination. Don't limit yourself. Even if it sounds really totally crazy.
Okay.
Listen, be playful with us, Susan. Let us know what you really want. And we will do our best to make it happen.
Okay. So I just talked to them about it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
But you can see them, close your eyes if you want and visualize them. You can see, they're showing me they're dressed in like clown suits to make you laugh. So you can visualize them like that. And that would help you with that playful energy so that you could ask whatever you like and connect with them deeper.
Okay. I'll do that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Joanne, you saw a big green eye in a meditation the other day. Any thoughts? Okay, so for Joanne, what can you tell us about the big green eye? Was it like an emerald green, Joanne?
It was kind of emerald green. I think it was more like a cat's eye green. It was like the size of my monitor. It was huge,
Okay.
huge.
So what can you tell us about this giant green eye? They're saying, we see you, Joanne, and they made it really large because they wanted to emphasize the point, we see you.
Awesome.
And then the echo comes behind that, do you see us? They
Yeah.
want you to know that they are there for you, that you can see them. And again, this whole vision thing is coming up, right? So that just clicked in. It's about just because that one sensory ability has been dampened, it doesn't mean it's not still there on the spiritual level. That's what you need to get. It's like you don't need physical eyes to see on the spiritual level, because you close your eyes and that whole world is there for you. So they want you to go into your meditation or your breathing exercises, whatever you're doing, close your eyes, allow them to show themselves to you, because you're missing that aspect of yourself. And when you allow that to come forth in your meditation or your connection, that fills in that gap for you, and it will be very soothing, very comforting, empowering, because now you are learning to use that muscle in a whole different way that will serve you at very higher levels than it ever did before. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah, well, actually, that was my question. Anything else?
Okay. Yeah, because it felt like there was something there behind that. All right. So anything else for Joanne? What would you like to share? I'm hearing this song. What is that song? It's about love. It's this, baby, I need your loving. Do you know that song? That's the song
Yes.
I'm hearing. I don't know why. That's a weird one. Maybe look up the lyrics or the history of that song.
Okay.
But it feels like it's about your connection with them, trusting that love that really is there, because they want you to know how much you're loved. And when you can accept that and believe it, allow that love to permeate your whole being, it will shift your energy, Joanne. And I'm feeling like there's some healing that can be done when you shift into that state of understanding and being.
Awesome.
Yeah. That's really important, because it's blocking the healing that's wanting to come through. You got some homework to do.
Yeah, I know. What's the story of my life?
Yeah, this is important though. This is homework for you. It's not about anybody else but you.
And that's part of the problem. I've always been a giver, always doing for everybody else, so doing for myself.
It's time to flip that switch. And so now I'm hearing that song, There'll Never Ever Be Anybody Else But You. Is that the Everly Brothers or something? So you got two songs.
I've been waking up with a lot of songs in my head last while.
Yeah, so pay attention, because very often that's your angels trying to send you a message. Songs are easy for them to communicate with us because they bring up familiar emotions and understanding, and sometimes there are memories connected to those songs. So it's a great way for them to have that more expansive conversation.
Cool.
Okay. You're welcome. Epiphany, you said, what is your thought on doing the karmic cord cutting during Mercury in retrograde? Let's just ask, would it be an optimal choice to do the cord cutting during Mercury in retrograde? Doesn't matter. So if you feel it is, then go with that. And if you don't care, then it doesn't matter.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. And all right, anybody else have any questions? Did I miss anyone? Linda, did you want to ask a question?
There.
There you
Oh,
go.
it's showing on mute. All right, thank you. This is my first time on a Zoom, so this is new.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been doing the meditation challenge. I do my meditations in the evening, but in the morning before I wake up is when I usually get most of my information. So this morning I got the numbers 4527, which when you boil down in numerology, it comes to a 9, which is completion. Is there something that I had recently completed?
Okay. So for Linda, these numbers, is there some greater message that she's supposed to get? Or is it simply completion? Getting a lot of stillness on that one.
No.
I'm just giving it a moment to see if anything wants to kick in. There's another way to look at it, Linda, that you might be missing. If you go to this site, it's called Joanne Sacred Angel Scribes. They have a very long list of numbers. See if you can find that number there by itself and what
Okay.
the angel meaning is that's attached to it. Because yeah, there's the one side that's the numerology, but there's also the other side.
Okay, because at first I did 4 and 5 equals 9, 2 and 7 equals 9, which is 99, which is an angel number. But then if you do the completion is 9 also. So
yeah,
I'll
so
do
you
some
could,
research on that.
yeah, on that same site also you could look at 9 and see what 9 is all about, because you might get a different interpretation than you get if you look at a numerology site.
Okay, what was that again?
It's Joanne Sacred Angel Scribe, something like that. If you type that in, it'll come up
Sacred.
for you.
Okay, Sacred Angel Scribe.
And if you
Okay.
can't find it, let me know and I'll get it for you.
Okay. Also, I've been thinking about quitting my job actually for a long time, but more so recently, I just wanted to know if it was optimal to do it within like the next 6 months. Because of my position, it would take a few months to train somebody to replace me.
Yeah. Okay.
And
So,
without any idea what I would do after that.
yeah. All right. Would it be optimal for Linda to change jobs? It doesn't really matter. It's in between. So it's what would make you happy.
Okay.
Because it's not about the job. Yeah, that's what they're saying. It's not about the job, Linda. It's bigger than that.
Okay.
So while you're doing the job, you can still lean into your spiritual development work. As long as the
Okay.
job doesn't interfere with that, it's fine. It's just a means
Well,
to an end.
yeah, yeah, because it's a big chunk of my day because I work from like 9:30 to 6. So I don't have much of an evening or much of a morning. So it's not a good balance.
Yeah. So knowing that and knowing that it is somewhat interfering, then perhaps it's looking around to find something. And then
Okay.
when you find something, you can decide, okay, am I willing to give this up and try that? But as far as right now, it's not yes or no. It's because you haven't made a decision. There's not like
Okay.
something you're going to. So they're not going to encourage you just to leap without planning ahead.
Okay. I know that's a good idea. Just do that. But yeah, you have to have plans. I
Yeah.
haven't really decided anything yet. So, okay. I haven't. Oh, yeah, I've been thinking about taking a class and not really knowing what kind. But I also got yesterday morning some thought in my head that said fill out a FAFSA, FAFSA form, and I'm like, why would I do that? Unless I was actually going to take a class. It's just a thought that I've had.
Mhm.
I was just
So
wondering if
would it
there
be
was
an
any
optimal-
message.
Okay, would it be an optimal choice for Linda to take a class? No, they're saying you're searching on the outside for something that's inside.
Okay.
Right now
I've
it's
been
about
getting
your,
that too.
yes, it's your internal injury. That's where you're focused, or in internal growth rather. That's the where your focus needs to be right now, because you are in this spiritual growth path. So that's the most important thing,
Okay.
especially right now where we're at. And that will be so much more fulfilling than any of that outside stuff. That's just busy
Okay.
work.
Yeah. Well, it's my patience that I have to work on, because I always want to move faster than I should be moving. So, okay.
Yeah, so persist,
Focus.
because the more you persist, then it will speed up. It'll get easier and smoother. But
Okay,
you're on the
so
right track.
work on the inside.
Yeah, which is what you're
Okay.
doing. That's why you're in the challenge.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's talk about this next month and let us know where you're at, because you should have shifted by then.
Okay.
Okay,
All right. Thank you.
you're welcome. So anybody else that's here who hasn't asked a question, because we're running down to on our timer here. Trisha, did you have a question? Heidi?
I've got one.
Oh, go ahead.
It's Warrior Girl. How are you?
Uh-huh. I see you. Hi.
Thank you. I was meditating and I wondered if I got a message from Archangel Michael saying to make a phone call, or was it my ego?
Okay. So for Warrior Girl, did Michael tell her to make a phone call? Archangel Michael? Yes.
Okay, and
How
is it
about that?
the top of the hill or the bottom of the hill?
Okay. Is the optimal choice the top of the hill? Bottom of the hill? Bottom.
Thank you kindly. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
you're
I have
welcome.
Saturdays. Take care.
That's
everyone.
very cryptic. As long as it helps you, that's great.
It does immensely.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Trisha, Kelly, Karen, any of you want to ask a question before we wrap here?
I have one. This is Cap.
Hi, Cap. Go ahead.
Hi. So I'm pretty new to meditation and I've been trying out different things. So one of the meditations I did was an Akashic record meditation, and it was my first time. And during that time, I felt like I was walking through a blue and gold veil dropped on me, and I was clearly sensing something that said High Priestess. And then I kept moving through that space, and I came upon an Egyptian goddess. I asked, "Who are you?" And she didn't say anything, but I looked up the pictures, like descriptions and all that, and it came to Isis. And then I kept going, and I come upon this 14-year-old girl with bow and arrows, and I asked her, "Who are you?" And she tells me, "I'm Artemis." And I keep going, and eventually this white owl flies over my head, and I reach a throne. And I see a white lion on a gold throne. After that, I Googled to see what it all means, and the research confused me more than ever. So I don't really know what has all of this got to do. And it was not like I had that information before, or I was interested in any of those topics. So it has not made any sense to me. And and ever since, Isis and Artemis keep returning to me in so many different forms.
Yeah. It was like they were stepping up to introduce themselves, to let you know that they actually did exist. They were real. That's the first part. So let me just ask, for Cap, is there anything you want to share about this vision with the goddesses? Yeah, I'm getting like you had this lifetime where you served in the temple for Isis.
Okay.
So it's a past life memory that's slowly coming back to you. And maybe multiple, because you might have been in several of those instances. But there's a connection that goes way, way back. So it's a familiarity that they were bringing back to you. It's to remember.
When I was very young, I had I was fascinated by Egypt, everything Egypt, like pyramids and whatnot. And I wanted to go there someday. And over time, that faded.
Yeah, that's normal. You had that memory. You brought that forward with you. And as a child, it was still there. The resonance was there. But then as you grow, those things fade away. Now they're just bringing it back to remind you. And the reason is because you're ready to explore that further. It's not random. It's purposeful.
What, I mean, I am really confused. What does it all really mean? I'm exploring, where do I even start?
Well, you've started because you Googled, so you got some information. Now, don't get ahead of yourself. Be patient because they'll bring you more pieces. And as you get more pieces and you fit it together, you'll understand. The other thing that you could do is you could do a past life reading where you go in and you find out about those specific things. So they're bringing it forward for you to consider what you want to do about it. You want to explore it more, you want to ignore it. Either is fine, it's your choice. But it's coming up because you're ready.
Okay. The only thing with Artemis, I could think that I do love animals. When I go on walks, it's usually there are birds and animals all around me. Like deer, they would just walk by my side. They're not threatened by me. And I see a lot of white animals in real life as well as in meditation, in dreams. Yeah, so I do get that theme that there is that blue, gold, white somehow are very dominant in my life. And not in my real life, but internally. And it does make me curious and want to know more. But
yeah, well, white is purity. And, you know, they use the white a lot in the temples. So there's a bigger connection. You just don't have all the pieces yet.
Yeah. And I think when I joined your calls back in October, I had asked, like, there is this person, and you did ask the guides, and they said, no, it was not a soulmate, it was not a romantic connection, but it could be a past life connection. And the synchronicities still continue, and they are so strange that I can't ignore them. I accept that it is what it is, and that's okay. But it's still somehow it's like there are missing links, and sometimes it leaves me wondering.
Yeah. Well, that's good because then you'll keep exploring. It's like they're beckoning you. Come on, we got more for you. Come and play, right?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's unfolding.
Thank you. Yes.
So Katja, you said you'd love your guides to send you a song. Let's see. Do they have a song for Katja? Not getting anything right now. You're kind of in an in-between place because you know, it's just swirling at the moment. But when you meditate, if you ever feel a song, go look it up. Look up the lyrics, look up the history of the song and see if you can find a resonance for you, that there might be a greater message. Or as some people have talked about, they wake up hearing a song. And of course, if you get earworms, those are usually from your angels, so that you want to explore those. So they're probably bringing you songs and you just haven't recognized them. So that's why you're asking the question, so that you can now focus on those songs and be ready to hear them when they come. Acknowledge that they actually did come from your angels and then take action upon them. And it's fun. They can tell you all kinds of things with songs. Okay, gang, anybody else before we wrap here? Let's see. Kelly, you're just listening. That's fine. Always happy to have you here. Sarah, if there's time, could you ask, how will you know when you're connecting to your guides, or will it be a vision, sound, or feeling? Sarah, are you in the meditation group? Sorry, I don't recall if you are.
Yes, I am. I'm in my second time round.
Awesome. Okay. So the way you know, Sarah, is when you do the opening prayer, you are connected to your records. So everything that you're getting at that point, you can trust is coming from your team. If you didn't do the prayer, then, you know, it could be a mix of things. But when you do the prayer, you're shifting your energy to connect with the records. You're setting your intention to receive from the records. So that's what's happening. That's your truth.
Okay. So I don't get much of anything, but like the other day I was like, okay, I'm going to focus on my feelings. You can't imagine how tickly you become if you're, if you're looking for a meditation. And I was like, and I do think that my guides have a really great sense of humor.
Yeah.
So they're like, well, she's desperate for this, so we're going to wind her up a bit today. And normally, like, I might get a purple blob but it's always so very vague, and I'm like, could I just have a little bit of clarity on reassurance? I suppose it's looking for reassurance, isn't it? But
yeah,
well,
well, it happens. That's the way it happens in the beginning, because you don't have the confidence yet to accept all the sensory input that you're getting. So just slow it down, be very present and aware of anything that you feel. I mean, even if you felt something gentle on your face, everything means something, nothing means nothing. It's all important. When you start noticing all those little things, it will expand and you'll notice more.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, you're so welcome. It's coming. So lots of thank yous. You guys are all welcome. Katya wants to know about the meditation group. So Katya, that's my book, The Path to Hearing Angels and Guides. We have a Facebook support group for that book, going through the 21-day meditation challenge. We started a new round on Monday, but you can join at any time. It's, totally open. So you follow through the 21 days in the book. And then what we're doing is once a week for the 3 weeks of the challenge plus 1 week. So we'll do 4. We're doing Zoom sessions on Fridays to share about the experience. So I'll be posting the replay of that so you can still access that. Just let me know if you want to join that group and I'll put you in there.
Yes, please.
Okay, you got it. Okay, lots of thank yous. All right, you guys, so let's just wind it up with a little closing thank you to our team, and just bring the energy back down as we prepare to go about our day. So just close your eyes, take a couple deep breaths, sit back and relax. Feel that beautiful energy that we have created here today in our circle. Just allow that to penetrate your being, to warm you up, to fill you with the love of your team, because it is immense. It's so much more than you've yet to realize. And it will be even more as you step into it and you allow it to come into your being, to lift you up. And now I'm seeing like all these little sparkly, twinkly, magical lights, because they want you to understand this life that you are living. It is about living that magical aspect of your life. It's not about toiling, not about fear, not about responsibility. Sure, those are all aspects, but they're minor aspects. The focus is joyous living, being this amazing, beautiful, glorious soul who shares your gifts and your love with the world, because that's how you affect change. When people feel that beautiful energy coming from you, they have to be moved by it. They have to change their actions or their attitude in some way. That's how you make the world a better place, by putting more love out there. Because as Dionne Warwick sang, what the world needs now is love. Lots and lots of love. So here we are sharing that love with the world in our way, changing the world for the better. So thank you all for stepping forward, for being part of that vision and that journey. And we, of course, ask you to please keep coming back, because you are so loved and so needed. You are a part of this grand design of Creator as we bring forth the prophecy of Earthtopia. And we are moving closer to it. Things are shifting. So thank you for that. Please keep showing up for yourself and for the world, because you are so needed, loved, and appreciated. So they're just now showering you with all these little sparkly love glitters to take with you as you move out into your day, so that perhaps as you encounter people over your weekend or whatever it is you're doing, they will notice that little extra sparkle that you're carrying with you, and they will react in some way to it. Perhaps opening a door that you had been wanting to open, perhaps opening a door that they had been needing to open. All of these beautiful synchronicities, because everything means something. It's so important. Thank you all for being here. And to our glorious teams, thank you, thank you, thank you. We so appreciate and love you. All right, you guys, go have a fabulous weekend. See you next month. Bye.